am sure that everyone has heard the saying that children are our future, the future of our economy, as well as the future to either striving or the demise of a great country. It would seemingly be a priority to educate those of whom hold this great responsibility. Early childhood education has become a growing industry, with their goal to start educating children at a very young age. The Early Childhood Education Initiative focuses on the following 6 main goals: that all young children deserve excellent earlyhood care and education, that high-quality experience make a difference in child's lifelong academic and social success. These programs must be accessible to all families. The early childhood must be a good education for all of those of whom attend. Early education must be both challenging and appropriate to young children. And lastly, that everyone must work together to build a successful future for our young children. While these are wonderful goals with great intentions, the follow-through is lacking. This opinion is based on my opinions as a mother, as well as those of whom are my friends who have young children, as well as statistics. The biggest issue that is obvious to any mother or father with a toddler is that while all children do deserve excellent early care and education, it is both expensive and for some physically impossible. According to the National Association of Child Care Resources and Referral Agencies, the average cost of daycare in the United States is $11,666 per year. Well, according to the 2015 census of the United States, the median household income was $55,775. According to this number, that leaves $44,109 to live off of, which includes housing, food, utilities, transportation, medical expenses, the list goes on. All of these add up for anyone that has ever lived on their own. So while early childhood education is a great proposition, it is impossible to afford in many families. I was lucky enough to be in the military, where my child was able to have a great education through daycare as compared to a friend of mine. Many women I knew who were not in the military opted to stay home with their children before the age of 5, and the leading reason I heard from all of them was I will earn enough working to pay for daycare, but if I am working, that is the only reason that my child would even need to be in daycare. So it is pointless for me to work, and it doesn't help my family any. Now comparing my child to my friend's child, there were noticeable differences in their social and educational milestones met. Unfortunately, the cost of child care causes these barriers for many families in the United States. To put it into a better perspective, I will tell you that now I am not in the military and I have to pay $900 a month in child care in Texas. In California, I received a quote for $1,300 a month for minimal care with no educational curriculum for children. As you see, these prices cost the biggest downside to Early Childhood Education Initiative. Yet another obstacle for many families is their ability to transport their children to and from daycare. According to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, states that families with an income of less than $25,000 are 9 times as likely to not have a family vehicle. Prior to the age of 5 or kindergarten, daycares do not provide any form of public transportation. In general, public funding for buses only includes that for school-age children. A goal for under the Early Childhood Education Initiative is that every child has the same opportunity, which is not feasible in the instance without any form of public transportation. With 6 goals of the Early Childhood Child Education Program, I have chosen to focus on these 2 main aspects. If childcare was more affordable, it would be more accessible to a range of families. If daycares also had a form of transportation to transport children to and from daycare, more children would be able to attend. Understandably, child care workers must be paid accordingly, so I propose that each state be liable for dispensing more funding for lower income families, as well as providing a more average and reasonable amount to those families who can afford it. As a single mother, I struggle to be able to afford an educational daycare for my daughter. I know that there are many other mothers, such as myself, that face the same struggle. The daycare is providing an outstanding early childhood education for my daughter, but I personally have to make a lot of personal sacrifices in order to keep my daughter in that school. Many families struggle with this fact. The need to keep a roof over their head and food on the table outweighs the need for a costly educational daycare in the United States. If states were allocated more funding for children under the age of 5 to be able to get to a daycare, as well as a family to be able to afford it, the future would be better off. Our children are the most important piece of success for the future of this country. Every child should be given the same opportunity no matter their family income. With the help of state funding and the early childhood education programs would become a more achievable goal. I speak for every parent when I say our children matter and their education is essential to a growing and striving society.
Okay. Yay. Clap, clap, clap. I'm just clapping. You're supposed to clap. You're supposed to clap.